and welcome back to Easy Keys. This is lesson 2 of series 2 of my beginner piano and notation lessons. Please check out series 1 as well as lesson 1 of series 2 if you missed them. Right, so in the last lesson we learnt about octaves, scales and keys, and the names of the lines and spaces on the stave in notation. So in the last lesson we learnt the C major scale and the fingering to play an octave scale in both the left and the right hands. We learned that the C major scale consists of only white notes. The next scale we're going to learn today will start using one of the black notes. So if we count 5 notes up from the C, we get to the G key, and this is the new scale we're going to learn today. Now when you play a black note in the key of G, it is called a sharp. And so in the key of G, the new black note is called F sharp. That's because this is an F key, and the black note to the right of this key going up is called a sharp. G has one black note. Now can you hear, if I play it without the sharp and I play it just with a normal F or a natural F, it doesn't sound quite right. Listen to the C scale. That note. Okay, so G it needs that F sharp. And this is G major. The fingering we use for this scale, as you see, is exactly the same as the fingering we used for the C scale. First 3 fingers, tuck under. And over. Then in your left hand, first 5 fingers, over, under. And this is how the G scale looks when you play them both together. Practice the scale daily with each hand, playing separately for now, and then once you've mastered the fingering again with this key, then try and play both hands at the same time. If you can't manage them together in the beginning, don't worry, you will get there. Continue each hand separately for a few days and then try them together again as you did with the C scale. Every time you practice, it will become easier. The next thing I want to show you is how to write the F sharp on the treble stave. So there are 2 ways of writing the F sharp. One is called the key signature and the other is called an accidental. So if you're playing a piece of music and every F in the piece of music you want to be played as an F sharp, then you would write it as the key signature at the beginning of the piece of music. And that is called the key signature. You write it between the treble clef and the time signature. So remember, this is the F line. Remember, there's Fanta, F. So because we want that F to be a sharp, we put the sharp sign there. So the sharp sign looks like this. You might not be able to see it written over the stave line. Okay, and then in the bass clef, this is the F line. Remember, there's Fanta, F is the second line down. You would put the little square of the F sharp over the F line. See there? The square is falling over the F line, so you know that every note that's played as an F needs to be an F sharp. So if you didn't see that at the beginning, then that would be F. But if you see that at the beginning, that sharpens it. So remember I said it's the black note above, makes it a sharp. So every time you see an F in the bass clef and you have an F sharp in the key signature, that F will be played as an F sharp. Then the other way that you can write an F sharp, as I said, was an accidental. So now it's not going to be in the key signature. You write it just in front of the only note that you want played as an F sharp. So say that's your F. We've got no sharps here in the key signature, but I want this one to be an F sharp. Then I would put that sharp sign just before the F, and that is called an accidental, because I only want it for that one note. And then if I want to cancel it, so my next note I want back to be an F natural, and I put a natural sign in front of it, and that will cancel that sharp sign. The same in the bass clef. I want this next F to be an F sharp. I will write the accidental just in front of it, and then the next F, I don't want it to be an F sharp, I want it to be an F natural. I will put the natural sign there. So that's your natural sign, and that cancels out the sharp. I'd like to show you where the A note is written on the treble stave so that we can add some more exercises in the link at the end of this lesson. Remember the anagram I taught you for the spaces in the treble stave was face. So there's your A there. And so when we play an A, it's going to be in that second space. Good, so now we can play music with the notes from F in the bass clef to A in the treble clef. Today I also want to show you another type of note that we can play that is held down for half the time of a crotchet or quarter note. This is called a quaver, or an eighth note in the US, and it looks like a crotchet, but it has a little tail on the top, so it's colored in like a crotchet. It also has a stem, and then it's got this little tail at the top. And then if you have two crotchets together, you know, somebody writes music, you often see when people write music notes, they write the two together like that. And that is two quavers together. So we just straighten that little tail, and this is a half beat. So I'll show you now. So these are colored in like the crotchet. Okay, so remember we have a semi-breve which is 4 counts, which is the same as 2 minims, which are 2 counts each. And then 1 minim is the same as 2 crotchets, because those are 1 count each. And then the 4 crotchets are the same as 8 quavers, and they are half a beat each. So there you have 2 quavers, the same as 1 crotchet. So now that we've learned semi-breves or whole notes, minims or half notes, crotchets or quarter notes, and quavers or eighth notes, you will be able to play these in the exercises down below. So that's all for today. See you in the next lesson, and you guessed it, don't forget to practice. Please like and subscribe and leave your comments down below.